Certainly these guys are used to racing flat out for around about an hour.
So Manuel Fumik on the right here, and alongside him Enrique Avancini won the Prologue a year ago. Away they go now, Canadell Factory Racing, and the two men at the peak of their powers, looking to perhaps get into yellow at the end of today's short, sharp prologue of around 20 kilometers around the slopes of Table Mountain.
It is also interesting to observe who's in aero and who's not using aero equipment. This course is definitely slower than the Merendal, so, and it's quite hot too, so with the helmet you have to choose what you...
So the last team to leave the start at Scott Stram Racing. Away they go, cheering because they're familiar faces in the Western Cape. Schurter has an apartment in Stellenbosch. He's seen regularly around there with his team, and he leads them away. Sterneman on his wheel, and they'll take a power beating on this prologue course today.
Yeah, they're perfectly in sync, and word is that Matthias Sterneman has taken on, he's been taken on by Nino's coach, so they're all in the same training.
He is climbing a mountain he knows like the back of his hand. Living here in Kenilworth in Cape Town, he will spend hours on this mountain training. He looks over his shoulder. Do you think he's looking for Nico Bell?
It's unclear, but we know that he's going through absolute pain at the moment. He was extremely ill yesterday, and today's about survival for him.
Real talent, this young man. He has his own particular way of riding, and he has joined the team now. Cape Pioneer and won that. There is Nico Bell indeed behind him, and he's just he started his sporting career as a motocross racer, but picked up a bad injury in the United States. In rehab they said do some cycling, and he put up some incredible numbers, so he took it more seriously. Canadell Factory Racing, Fumik and Avancini.
Yeah, I've seen with the NAT team, the stronger was in the front on the climb. That's actually a bad decision. The weaker rider should ride in the front, and then he's less under pressure, and the stronger rider can chill a bit behind and maybe give a good push then when it comes to the asphalt, and you can draft.
Becoming professionals, and truly it's encouraging to know that we've got some amazing talent in the sport.
Well, his partner last year, William Magopo, is no longer eligible, who's part of the Change Your Life Academy, and they're riding in the elites as well this year, and again progress has been incredible there. Schurter and Sterneman now onto the open roads on the mountain, as this is Damiano Ferraro and Samuel Poro of Trek Celis and Marco.
We'll be keeping a close eye on what kind of times they're going to be posting at this time check. Now they're 35 seconds behind at that time check. Not quite set.
And this pair, there's a sense of urgency about Schurter there.
Beautiful helicopter shot. I feel like I'm always in the race, and you see the details. It's very, very nice to spectate.
Well, we certainly enjoyed watching you and Yaro here a couple of years ago on this mountain. We had lovely images of you guys there. Is it blocked out?
Yeah, no, it's pretty blocked out. But I didn't like when Yaro had to push me 2-3 times on the prologue.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
I had a horrible day, so I wish there was no helicopter. And that Men's Tree is a climb you can't underestimate, because it's actually important that you don't go as a weaker rider 100% into it and ride yourself into the red zone, because then the asphalt is coming, and you really want to charge on the asphalt to ride 1k an hour faster on a steep climb. It's so much watts. Rather take the power off there a bit and then hit it when it becomes flat, and that was so much looking forward to the flat, and now I can accelerate, but I just had to first sit down and recover. And that was actually exactly the same years and years ago with Bury. Was a similar route, also that Men's Tree. I was on the limit and I just couldn't.
Are you any...
But you know what it all goes into it, and it's hard over 8 days. if you can guarantee me the win, sure, I'll put my pants on right away. But it's not that easy.
Enrique Avancini and Manuel Fumi, Cannondale Factory Racing going. It's a very familiar tempo as they close in on that checkpoint.
Well, we've just had a bit of a surprise here in the booth. We've just seen that Scott Schramm's Nino Schurter and Matthias Sturnemann have gone through that time check. 24 minutes, 24 seconds down on Investec Songo Specialized. That's at this level of the sport, 8.5 kilometer mark. They are lying in second, 8.2 seconds behind Team Buff Scott.
Maybe something to mention, the Scott Schramm Young Guns, they mid into the race.
Just an indication of how deep this field is and how hungry the riders are. In fact, all the riders
Or not losing energy, wasting energy over 8 days, stressing about little things and making plans, and it gets over 8 days. You lose this energy that maybe is very important.
The Lurden's back off Centurion Woud in third spot virtually.
Watch these pair. This is Fumi and Avancini. They love this sort of riding. Swing away off plum pudding and head for home. Now they've got a bit of the fire road, the contour road, and then they'll be onto that last bit of single track. So moments recovery here for Jaroslav Kulhavin.
Credit to Hartgrotz. He's really taking the bit between his teeth and taking up the responsibility of the race.
Terrific tempo is Howie Grotz. There's a gentle incline on the first 2 kilometers of this tar road.
It never really feels flat though, that road. And there's often also wind in it, often headwind. There's also smaller downhill where we can hopefully recover for the last few kilometers before it really goes down towards the finish line.
Well, it's fantastic images of Investec Songo Specialized Grotz and Kulhavi, which is Kulhavi starting to get his engine back and firing here.
And yes, it does make a difference drafting such a small boy as Howie versus I could draft Jaro in the...
Through the last bit of single track, Fumi and Avancini. The e-bike. Absolutely amazing through the trees. Never mind the shadows, we're able to see the riders very clearly. It's quite a technical finish to this course. Yes, they'll drop off this and then onto the cycle path and onto the field, but you don't want to make a tired mistake on these trails. Hit a rock or catch your crank on a rock. Got to get your line spot on. Got to keep concentrating all the way through to the finish. As we watch Manuel Fumi and his partner Enrique Avancini, Cannondale Factory Racing finishing, but shortly there they are, Fumi and Avancini across the line, and they may well have set the benchmark time mark to shoot at.
A good effort from them. They were lying second at that third checkpoint, but we've just seen a big red number going up with Centurion Woud at the third checkpoint at 37 minutes and 59 seconds. They are 24 seconds faster than the next best team.
Yes, the Songo Champs race.
It will be Gesmar and his partner Robach of Centurion Woud, leaders in the clubhouse, so to speak, right now. A superb ride.
Yes, the numbers went red. Centurion Woud are ahead. They are the first team so far at 45 minutes and 23 seconds. Last year they were in the yellow jersey for 4 full days. Very impressive for the cross-country specialists, and even more impressive, the big surprise of the day, Team Buff Scott mountain biking.
Nino Schurter and Matthias Sturnemann, the defending champions, putting the Sturnemann behind him. Scott Schramm have finished the day in the 4 top elite riders.
Fantastic performance, and impressive for Matthias Sturnemann. He's come out here, he's absolutely turned himself inside out, and if we judge